Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Mars conjunct one's natal Mercury. Now, when we're talking about transits that involve Mars, it can be about action, motivation, energy, enthusiasm. Um, when we're talking about transit Mars conjoining one's natal Mercury, well, a lot of that action, that motivation, that energy, and even enthusiasm and exuberance may go into one's communication. Say this is in Sagittarius, it could be about philosophical or religious discussions, expanding one's horizons, and it might even be really even more enthusiasm connected with that. Gemini could be about manifold subjects. Um, and also a lot of enthusiasm and energy going into learning, processing, assimilating information as well. If it's in Taurus, it could be about monetary matters, values. It could be learning through a lot of energy and enthusiasm by learning through things that are demonstrated visually. And keep in mind, Mercury is not just about our thinking and communication. It means a lot more. It's connected with a lot more things than that. And Mercury is also associated with siblings, cousins, and neighbors. So this could be a lot of energy might be expended in action uh, in matters with those people at this time. If it's in Virgo, say it could be, for example, it could be Virgo, a sun, moon, or ascendant siblings, cousins, or neighbors, or ones that embody those characteristics. And the thing too is that looking at this as well, and you're talking about Mercury can be also associated with short journeys and local transportation. So in some cases, I mean, this could be about a lot of action and energy going into those matters at this time. You might find yourself running a lot of errands for people, uh, doing more things, with your neighbors. It could be a period if you're like canvassing and you're like a door-to-door salesman. This could be a more active period for you because Mars is about activity, our actions, energy, and Mercury is about short journeys. And I would include, just if you're doing canvassing and say in your neighborhood or community nearby, walking from door to door, that would qualify as short journeys. Uh, and also, too, this could be a time as well. Keep in mind, Mercury is associated with the rational mind, so sometimes you gotta be careful that Mars, being the planet of anger, that don't cloud your judgment at this time, and because Mars can be about acerbic energy and being, you know, if you're trying to do, something and you're trying to focus and you have anger in you, obviously it's going to be more difficult to do that task, but at the same time, it could put a lot more energy into your communications at this time, more so than usual. You might be more active in terms of emailing people, writing letters, talking to people on the phone. Uh, and remember as well that Mercury, anatomically speaking, is connected with the hands, the arms, the nerves, lungs, breathing, the brain, and also eyesight as well. And Mars is like that burning, you could say kind of like a burning planet, it's fiery. So it might be a time where you may have some, may not last that long depending on how long the transit actually is hitting your natal Mercury. When it's separating, of course, that could be separating conjunction of Mercury, that could reflect alleviation. But if you have it hitting, your Mercury, remember Mercury can be connected with eyesight, so it could be like a little burning sensation or redness with the eyes at this time. Some cases it could even be an injury uh, to the eye. If it's in Scorpio, it might be more of a deep one or one that requires more of like an MRI, some imaging to see deeper into the issue. As an example, another thing too is that you look at this as well. Say if it's an Aquarius, it might be some problem with the eye. It might be like an intermittent type of twitch or something. Now, another thing I wanted to get at though is that as far as um, Mercury goes, it's also associated with analysis. I mean, if you have this in Virgo, it could be a lot of energy into a lot of very detail-oriented analysis at this time, and this really could increase mental energy at this time, just in general, more so than usual, and your mobility as well. So it could be a very good period for being very active, perhaps in body and mind, I would say. Now, Mars can be associated with initiative, enterprise, and also impatience. Now, let's say you could be on if you have it could be at this time you might be more impatient on matters that are associated with Mercury, whether it's communications. If there's something that's got a minor delay, you might be reacting in a little bit more acerbic manner, more so than usual. And also about taking initiative on on mercurial or Mercury related matters, whether it's activities with the siblings, cousins, neighbors, whether it has to be errands that you have to do. You might do these things with a little bit less procrastination and hesitation than usual. And if you have like a very dominant, like a Pisces or Cancerian chart, it might surprise some people, because those signs, I would say, are really notorious for procrastination. Now, let's say, for example, if you have this in Taurus in your 6th house in your natal chart, this could manifest sometimes in enterprise and initiative in learning things visually, by having things through being demonstrated visually, on health, which is Taurus, and then on health-related issues, which is the 6th house. Now, and also about our speaking up, being more outspoken might be tied in, with what you're, or I should say, this transit can manifest in having the valor, the courage, the fortitude to speak up and be outspoken, more so than usual. If this is in Leo, say if this is in Leo in your 4th house in your natal chart, that's where the transit occurs. It could be maybe in regards to an arrogant or overbearing, domineering home or family member, or someone simply close at home with you. You may also be more assertive and aggressive in your short journeys, and also in driving as well. So it's a time to really be careful to not succumb to road rage. Remember, Mars is the planet of anger. Mercury is connected with local transportation, short journeys, I would say even vehicles. Now, if it's in Pisces, say, as an example, it could be sometimes very chaotic driving in the process, or even in, where someone might be inebriated or intoxicated, or sometimes drug-fueled in isolated cases. So, anyway, and again, it does increase the greater propensity for vehicle accidents at this time. And if you have this, say, in Capricorn, it could be damage to, we call the chassis, the skeletal system, or Gemini, maybe it could be superficial damage. I'm kind of flippant with that one, but anyway. Now, as well, another way this may manifest or pan out is that the situations might be more contentious with siblings, cousins, neighbors, and a little bit more acrimonious, and where it might be more arguments. It might be more about where you're willing to confront people on these people on certain issues, being more confrontational with them at this time, more so than usual. Again, going back to the zodiac sign Sagittarius, it could be arguments over philosophical, religious differences, perhaps going outside the box, expanding the horizons, long distance journeys, at this time. And keep in mind too, Mercury is connected with our thinking, and this is a time just to be careful, not to be dominated by angry, acrimonious thoughts at this time, because again, as I was stating earlier, is that this anger dominates your thinking. It's going to be a lot harder to focus and concentrate on the tasks at hand and things that you need to do. And it does, but at the same time, this does increase a greater proclivity for angry thinking at this time. It's safe. It's an Aquarius. It could be over matters, with friendships, or Maybe it could be maybe Aquarius is associated as well with altruism and selflessness. Maybe maybe it's an argument about you maybe not angry over maybe things might have been said to you about not expressing this, or maybe other people not expressing those qualities, or even consideration. I would say Aquarius is the most considerate of the zodiac signs, so it could be matters connected with that. Mars can show what we're becoming angry at. Now, another in isolated cases, remember Mars could be associated with surgery, so it can be some surgery in some cases on the hands, the arms. It might be nerve-related damage. It could be Mercury can be connected with the nerves and also the brain as well. In some very isolated, remote instances, the lungs. And going back to eyesight, it could even be something with eyesight as well. I mean, if it's in Pisces, it could be like through blurred vision. Gemini, maybe double vision. So it's those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out. When we're talking about conjunctions in astrology, they're neutral aspects. They could have good and bad points to them. It's a very strong integration and intensification of energy connected with the two astrological energies. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.